he's going to continue with the scouts in this round, despite the buy from Dignitas. I mean, he doesn't have all the money in the world anyway, so Nifty's pretty sharp with sniper rifles. We've seen that already. He's heading over towards the B-bomb site, so he'll be put in a safer position than, say, a mid-duel. Always hard to see through Molotovs, even without a sniper rifle. Renegades with all the kills, apart from JKS getting taken down by Croman. But is that it for the T side? In the shadow position is Croman, almost a third kill for him, but he will eventually be traded. A quick round again. Renegade successful.
That was pretty close. Next down to 1 HP there. Well, very fortunate for Mr. Nexo, does not have to rebuy. Okay, scout onto Nifty. We can see the replay here of the push into the bomb sites. Didn't go all too well for the Dignitas boys, but perhaps the next time will yield more success when they have more money to get more nades, more perhaps an AWP even. But here it's just, once again, a similar story as to the second round. Very limited investment, just trying to get some damage here with the weapons that they do have, which is now, you know, a couple of Deagles as well. It's actually a Glock to get a headshot. Finisher, thanks to Rubino. And Nifty's on 6 HP, so there is a lot of prospect here to do additional damage from Dignitas' side of things. So they're going to be cautious about this, take this slow so that they don't throw away any opportunities to get any additional kills. And there's one.
Tensky finding his way all the way through the B-bomb side. But ultimately, the bomb is down in the middle of mid, and now things are getting really awkward for Renegades. Nexa, he is in the red, 9 HP after those tags from top mid. Jacob on the wrong side of the boxes, but again, it's awkward positioning for what remains of the CT side. Colossal damage here done in this round from Dignitas. The aim punch saving Nexa there. Tensky only requiring 1 bullet, but unable to find it in the meantime. Jacob will use the distraction to collect the bomb. Unable to collect a weapon though. 3 CTs down, but can't quite pick anything up. 32 seconds and doesn't seem sure as to what he wants to do. He'll opt for short instead of B apartments. And he could take them by surprise. JKS appears to be looking towards the window area. Spots him just in time. This could be a bait. There is a player in the ladder position. Won't be needed though. JKS will finish off the job, but that was made extremely expensive for Renegades.
No, it's just, no, I mean, if they can recover here, it's fine. If they win this round, they get the reset going on. Or, sorry, if they lose this round and get the reset situation going on, everything will be fine. So it doesn't matter too much. They can keep that momentum going. But that's what I'm wondering is to see whether Dignitas will opt for very fast rounds if they want to just play more default, play more map control around middle. Well, here's a fast one. This is a classic round here. Very fast route connector in towards that A bomb site, going for a split with the pit position. But how it's going to be Nexa with all the kills here. That is insane. Nexa with that triple. Fox to respond though to open up the A bomb site. There's still a chance here for Dignitas, but they must collect the bomb.
Nifty completely blind, but so close to a kill onto Tensky. However, it will be Dignitas with the man advantage. Tensky and Fox versus Azza, one of the notable players of Renegades, one of the players with the biggest output. Spots a shoulder peek. I don't know if he was seen in kind, but the grenades are coming his way. 1 flash left onto Fox. Tensky's there to trade. I think he killed Fox through Tensky. Either way, it is a first round on the board for Dignitas, and I really thought they were going to get wiped out again. It wouldn't be the first time in this tournament where Dignitas have had a horrible start and lost rounds really quickly.
This is so insane that they can't get a trade on that. I mean, firstly, the angle that Nex is defending from there is really awesome on the bomb site. That's an insane triple. And it's so insane that they managed to recover the round after that point. After you lose 3 players instantly on one of the prongs. I mean, props to Fox for just going in with the AK. But we have a mid-aggression here from Renegades. Again, it's a reset type situation. Neither team has any money, so this round is worth a lot to both sides. And here goes the flash into mid. It's very good and diligent work here from Dignitas. Good attention to detail to throw that flash in, aware that the mid push was a likelihood in this round. And that will be a 4 versus 3 for them with plenty of time on the clock to work with.
JKS moving through the ramp just as Rubino moves away, trying to get some information for his team. But where will he go? If he starts running now, JKS, he will be heard by Fox, who is top mid. So, and the thing is, with 1 minute on the clock, I mean, maybe he will feel like he's got time to walk and Dignitas might take it slow, but he will, JKS here, he'll really be wanting to make his way into B as soon as possible. As he go towards mid, it's time to run now. Fox looking to cut off the rotation while Tensky and Rubino cut off heads in the B bomb site. Next, they're stuck in a ladder room, and it looks like we're going to have another round for Dignitas.
Yeah, that's indeed looking quite likely unless Nexa goes ham again. But he does have Fox to worry about on the flank. Ooh, can Fox catch him here as he drops in through into the window? Oh, that looked on actually. Not sure how that did not connect. Did that look on to you as well? Was it just me? Pretty sure that was on.
Not sure.
Maybe he moved. Who knows? Who knows? We'll likely never find out.
I was blinking.
Oh, that's terrible. So Tensky taking down Nexa, not really allowing these CTs to save all that much. And this is Dignitas right back in this one now. And this is a great situation to be in. You've reset your opponent. They've got no money. On the CT side, that is really difficult to deal with, as you can't really tailor rounds to the buys that you have specifically, as well as the Ts can. I mean, there's lots of situations where the Ts can say, oh, you know what, we'll have you know, cheaper rifles anyway. We can have a few guys on AKs, and then the rest
invisible sewing.
What's that?
He's getting his invisible sewing game on.
I see.
I had to say that. It was too good. I'm sorry.
I'm blank now. I can't remember what I was saying.
I don't like to talk over you, Dan, but when I see invisible sewing during a game of Counter-Strike, I get excited.
Well, we have a stack at the moment for Renegades, trying to sow the destruction of their opponents, but unlikely
very nice.
From this position, considering that they're all going towards B. They found the right site. They picked the right choice. Unlike the election in the US, it was a there's a clear choice, and the B-bomb site will be planted upon momentarily.
Rubino, top mid, keeping the channels closed. He is the port of authority.
Bomb has been planted.
So it's a shooting gallery now for Fox.
You know, actually, I don't know how he died there, but oh wow, get some kills here. But there's no kit on these players, so the best they can do is to continue the damage.
Oh, sorry, I pressed your cough button instead of mine.
Literally on the opposite side of the commentary box to you.
It's been a long day.
That is ridiculous. Just trying to destroy the cast, aren't you? Well, I mean, Renegades are actually doing huge amounts of damage here, but the wow, that's how do they kill everyone on a save run like this? This just what the hell was that?
There's an AWP on short. Oh, well, he can't run for the AWP of 1 HP in fairness.
How?
So.
How has JKS killed 4 players in this round? That's outrageous.
One of those rounds. I feel bad for Fox almost. Jacob with that 2-bullet burst, ringing the bell on the first one. Anyway, a 1 round is a 1 round, but boy was that expensive.
Yeah, they should be in a position where they have a buy. If they lose this round, they don't have any money left. They lost 5 players. That is ridiculous. Wow, still a bit gobsmacked by that. Flick there from Nifty. I think that may have connected, actually. Rubino just takes some damage, and we get a fast push up the pit here. Straight into the A-bomb site, catching everybody off guard with their pants around their ankles, and they're tripping everywhere. It is unsightly.
This is not the first match where we've seen this this charge up the ramp from Dignitas. They seem to quite like it, with mixed results.
Nice flash.
But it works out for them this time. Rubino's glasses are extremely clean. You have to admire how clean his glasses are. You also have to admire that spray transfer and maybe clean glasses will help. Where's your money, Renegades? Where is your money? They've taken a timeout. Well, someone has. Yeah, Renegades timeout.
I have to admit, you know, we had all the sound updates a while ago, and there was I took to most of them, you know, pretty quickly. but you know, the AWP was always a bit weird and so on. But these days, you know, now it's been so long since that update. I really enjoy all the new sounds put into the game. And obviously, you know, we went on our own journey to discovery with that.
It's funny you say that. I'm putting the sounds of CS:GO Arctic Warfare video online tomorrow.
AWP.
Arctic Warfare. It's more than AWP.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's really nice actually on streams as well, because I've been watching the stream. You know, if I've not been at the studio for whatever reason, I've been on the stream and just hearing the sounds. I'm just thinking to myself, this is really pleasant to listen to.
Yeah.
So especially the AWP. Well, we got the tied game, but Dignitas are the ones with the momentum, looking to be able to extend their lead beyond Renegades, or sorry, extend their scoreline beyond Renegades to gain the lead in a round like this. It's only a Deagle, 2 P250s and 2 USPs, so there's not too much to expect here from the Renegades side. And I mean, that said, the previous time they managed to pick up 5 kills. So there is that. Dignitas not looking for a repeat here. We can see J-Chem, the man with the clipboard, doing his scientific investigation of the B-bomb site, and it has been found to be completely clear.
Rubino moving forward. I don't know if he wants to move forward. Oh, he has support from 10 ski, but often on the anti-eco, people will be above the entrance into the B bomb site. So an AK has been collected by JKS once again, and his flash will give him a peek towards Jacob, but not much more than that. The Mac 10 will prevail. He gets an upgrade. Yeah, that was a situation waiting to get out of hand. Dignitas with a 1-round lead. They have won 5 in a row, which means that Renegades are at maximum loss bonus. Big buys coming for Renegades every other round should they continue to lose, but they certainly won't intend to. Nifty with the AWP moving towards the middle area. Will he get there faster than Chrome? And either way, there's a smoke down. You can see sometimes people creep through that smoke up to short to get a cheeky angle on the AWPer, so something they have to be afraid of. Now, Nifty has an incendiary grenade, and I do wonder... Oh, okay, he's going for smoke gimmicks, but when you see that smoke top mid and you haven't thrown it, you know what to expect. Anyway, some AWPers, we see them throw Molotovs before that smoke comes down from the T side to give them a window to look through. But he went for the gimmicks instead.
Dignitas really closing in on some of these forward positions now. Azza watching by shots, but she's still out to die through the smoke. What a horrible fate it is to die through the smoke. And that's opened up connector for Dignitas. They do have players more in position for B though, and with the Palace push that's come in from JKS, it's very likely that Renegades will start to feel that this is going to be a B round here for Dignitas, and surely now they'll realize losing Azza, and now it's down to Nexa on that B bomb site. He's got some help coming, but it's a little bit far away at this point. It is reaching the shop, but he's going to have to do what he can by himself for the time being, as JKS will eventually find his way into the apartments, but he won't be there quickly enough, and that's Nexa gone from the B bomb sites.
Nifty though was in the shop area, but the flank from Rubino may just close out the round. JKS, does he go for it? He has the high ground advantage. The bomb is planted. He's got a kit. So it's just what he can make of this element of surprise, but it seems he isn't going to go for it after all. We are asking a lot of him. He is leading the charge along with Nexa with 11 kills apiece on the server. Tensky not far behind with 10, excuse me. But it's round number 6 for Dignitas, and Renegades will continue to at least get money in from the loss bonus, but not get rounds in.
Boom. The bomb has exploded, it's detonated, and we start the round again. So 6th for Dignitas, 4th for Renegades. It's looking pretty good for Dignitas, actually. Again, if you just look at the approach that they have in that previous round, obviously it was just the basics in middle, just pressuring in middle. They managed to find a kill into connector, started to pressure in towards short, managed to find a kill eventually there as well. And although there was trades here or there, they got the bomb down in good positioning for an after plant. So we'll see if they go for something similar here. It does look like a similar thing as far as the players are concerned, but a much faster pace, going really quick here, beating the grenade timings before the smoke blooms. Chrome is fast through that with a quick kill onto Azza. And Nexus dead as well. They are falling like flies. There's barely 15 seconds past in the round. Oh, wow. What do you do from here?
Renegades are unable to control these rounds. Dignitas setting the pace, and it's a pretty fast one. You know, with mixed results, didn't work out at the beginning, but certainly now it is.
It's like they have a NOS switch, you know, like in the car, you just like press a button and they just go like super fast.
6-4, soon to be 7. Renegades, how do you keep this competitive on your CT side? 4 rounds is not enough. We're moving towards round 12. They are running out of opportunities in this first half. Both these teams, 1 win, 2 losses. Loser goes home. And it's a long way home for Renegades. It's almost like the Eye of Sauron in those desks, don't you think?
Yeah, I was thinking that previously, yeah. Because they had like the watchtower as well.
Sauron.
So it's like if you combine the two things, it's like...
Saruman. Sauron. I don't know any other words.
Well, Dignitas, they seem to be really good in this very quick pace, but it's not something you want to do all the time because the power is in sort of it being unexpected. As I say that though, they are playing fairly quickly towards the slope position with 3 players. Fox waiting with the AWP, and that will be a peek and forward play from 2 CTs. So curious as to how Dignitas will want to respond here, and it looks like they will not force the issue, which is wise.
I think that's a needed response from Renegades to be aggressive and try and stop Dignitas from doing whatever they want. Obviously, the ramp pushes have had mixed results for both teams, but it's good that Renegades are not being deterred. In fact, the push continues. But Rubino's on the off angle on the high ground, instantly traded by JKS. What more information is there for the T side?
So this 4 versus 4 situation. It's always awesome to be in this situation as the T's. You've got a minute to play with. You can see that Dignitas are cycling back through the T spawn area towards slope. There is only JKS there close with an M4. If he is to push forwards, he can find a position to take that shadow advantage, but he's actually going to go back into the bomb sites and try to play the delay game. Spotting.
Oh, he's in trouble.
He's in a lot of trouble. Let's see what he can do.
As soon as they were spotted him there, 3 men start running into the A site. They know he's there somewhere. Fox waiting, and Fox takes him down. 2 CTs remain. Nexa, he finds Jacob above him actually. Thought Jacob had a nice angle for that. Down Nexa goes, leaving Nifty alone. 1 versus 2 after picking Fox off. He's got the AWP. It's going to make it hard for him not to get traded. However, Tensky may feel trapped around Tetris. Going to the high ground, Tensky continuing to peek. Nifty knows the trade fragger's lying in wait. Now he's got a great angle, but Tensky sharp with the headshots. Dignitas continue. 8 rounds in a row for Dignitas. 8 unanswered rounds.
It's also kind of like, reminds me of Stargates. Like when the Stargate opens.
I remember Stargates.
Stargates. 8-4. Dignitas seem to be having a really good time of things, to be honest. Like as far as their T side goes, it honestly looks like they have like a really good idea behind what they're doing. And this is what I would expect from a team that has the benefit of Zevez, is that they will have a strong T side, that they'll know what they're doing, they'll have good direction. Generally speaking, they'll have some eye for detail. That's generally like what he brought to the table when he was the IGL for various teams in the past. So it's good to see that Dignitas are looking that way inclined, that they've got a really good plan and idea of what they're doing in these T rounds, and they're very decisive in the rounds as well. So I like what I see from Dig so far. Oh, that's a catch and a half there from Fox, and now they get to play a 5 versus 4. Must be nice.
Must be nice. Renegades sending 3 people to the B bomb site early, so they've got little control of mid, but they put Azir in a position to... Okay, I thought maybe he was going to go onto the bricks in CPL through ladder room to spot people going into connector, but perhaps they can't afford that luxury. It was a 5 versus 3, but Tensky's been taken out. Hello. Bomb going back towards the A side. Oh, so favored, and maybe they have confidence in Jacob's position, making his way towards the CPO area, spotting Azar. And now will he go to flank? Fox, what a great fast peek from him. Bomb rotating back towards B now.
Just JKS. Renegades being outclassed in this round by Dignitas. And the bomb will be planted on B, and the round will be won. JKS is all he can do to hold onto his gun. We'll see if he can do that. So it's...
Does he go for it?
He doesn't have a kit at the moment, which is a really big problem. Maybe if he had a kit, he'd be considering this.
Yeah, but now there's one behind him, and there's only one on the site. But again, he's kind of trapped now because the clock is really against him because he doesn't have that kit. But that's the kind of opportunist frag that we talk about. You know, you're in a bad situation. You wait around, see if there's an opportunity for you. One opens up. If he has a kit, then that is a really difficult round for Dignitas. Fortunately for them, no kit for JKS. 9-4. Renegades going to be forcing it up.
So at this point, I'm just interested to see, you know, what the choices are from Dignitas each round. You know, do they decide to go fast, slow? You know, how do they focus on map control? Do they want to try to get an early pick somewhere? You know, they've so far showed that they can do all of those things. And more to the point, we're going to have to look at what Renegades are doing here. They're going a bit aggressive in middle, jumping down to go check underpass, going up here with a flash on the Fox this time, catching Dignitas off guard. Previously, they themselves got caught off guard when they made this mid play by some flashbangs, but that was not there here. It's up to JKM to go for the cleanup. It's a 3 versus 3, but the CTs are pressuring the bomb, and now they're sitting on top of it.
Very awkward stuff. Dignitas have time, however. They have time, and Rubino is going to be important. You can see his position now, but JKS is prepared for this kind of flank to come in. But who's going to pick the right place where first? Rubino spotting JKS. Here's the collision. Pre-fires, but the UMP will prevail. 1 versus 2, however. Tensky, position unknown. Could be coming from anywhere at this point.
That has to be absolutely gutting for Rubino there. I think you can see it on his face as well. It's just like, how does he kill me? I have the best play. Got the Molotov and spraying. What else do I have to do to kill this guy? Of course, he does die eventually, but it is indeed down to Tensky now to reclaim the bomb. He's got 35 seconds to go. And the CT is playing a pretty dangerous setup. It's honestly difficult to see Tensky pulling through this. It's all on the CTs at the moment, and it's a bit messy, but he will eventually die. Tensky, he's died, he's dead, he's gone. It's a 9-5 scoreline. Renegades their first round after 9 consecutive losses there.
See what they can bring into the last round of the first half. JKS on the UMP. Everybody else has a goodbye, as you can see on your screens. Well then, Fox, can he make more of a nuisance of himself? That was quite a fast shot from a player jumping past the angle towards connector. Azza still not afraid to get aggressive, but this is what they need. They need to take the round away from Dignitas. Will he play the information game? 2 spotted, going for the spray down. Fox taken down at the very least. In the meantime, frags all around the map, mostly in favor of Renegades. They know one of the 2 players is towards the apartment, so they might head a second player towards short.
So this is an interesting spot here for JKM and Tensky. It is definitely winnable. 2 versus 4, the bomb is ticking away. They're going to play on the bomb sites, giving up any other positions that they previously had, and working into shop now as JKM. They need a fast first frag at the very least to make this doable. Here it is, JKM winning the battle. Doesn't take any damage as well against JKS. And now the bomb is being tapped, forcing Tensky to give his position away, and Usill is going to frag him, and that's going to be that. Caught out of position is JKM. And that's a really difficult spot because you don't know how many CTs are coming from which position. Ooh, he's just going to barely have enough time here. Ooh, that was very close. That was very close.
It's a viable situation now. Renegades have more than a fighting chance. 6 rounds on the board after 8 in a row, 9 in a row from Dignitas. 9 in a row. That is a much-needed comeback from Renegades. If they win the pistol, likely to tie things up. So everybody has opportunities. Both teams. Let's see what the buy means for them. Renegades are all Kevlar on the T side. So I would imagine they're going for a B play. Not really want to walk into the long ranges of A without any smokes or flashbangs. In fact, everyone on both sides is entirely Kevlar. Renegades going for a contact play, which means as soon as one of them has been spotted, it's time to charge into the bomb site.
But when will they be spotted? Rubino's looking for it. Well, they're just going to go for it. Out the window, there you go. Oh, Fox and Rubino getting a frag apiece there. That's some good work, and that's what you have to do as a CTs to make this round doable. In goes JChem, and that's going to be a trade. 2 versus 3 now for Renegades with the bomb down.
As with a lot to do, they've got the bomb plant at the very least. Just for those at home who want to understand how a contacts play works, obviously we just explained it, but when you get close to the window, then it's time to run regardless. You want to get the numbers in the bomb site as fast as possible and overwhelm any CTs who might be there. Play the numbers game, get the trade frags if necessary, and get your post-plant positions in. So once you're close enough to rush into the site, there's no need to walk anymore. Dignitas. It's very interesting when the score is 9-6 at halftime because the pistol can mean very different situations, extremely different situations, depending on which team wins it, assuming they win the next 2 rounds as well. So Renegades, having got the plant, they are playing for the AKs in the next round. They've got no flashbangs, so I'm very curious as to what they're planning to do here. Maybe using a numbers game in case there's a push from the CTs. But if not, then where will they go?
Yeah, I think there's probably not a huge amount that they're thinking to strictly do in a round like this, and we can see why. They get pretty easily shut down on middle, and the AKs can come out, so that's fantastic, isn't it? So as they're actually able to field quite a few grenades with his AK-47, a smoke and 2 flashes. Must be nice. We've got the Dignitas side obviously sticking to FAMASs, and we're seeing a lot more FAMAS usage these days since the UMP change on range. And I got to say that the FAMAS is quite difficult to use effectively. So, like, Renegades actually have a huge amount of advantages with those AKs, because any duel at range, they are heavily favored. Those AK-47s perform very well, and the FAMAS, it's just not that good. What do you think about that? Do you agree with me?
It's hard to disagree with you.
Because you want to, right? I want to disagree with me as well, but it just really doesn't perform that well as in comparison to.
Yeah, it's not amazing.
It's quite a noticeable difference.
In older Counter-Strikes, it was much better.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like with the burst in 1.6, oh, so good.
Renegades have taken control of the connector position, and that's a deep smoke into the window area as well. And that can suggest that somebody could be in there from the T side, and indeed somebody will be, as quietly moving into position. Rubino holding down an angle on short, and I do wonder what Azza will do if he'll try to catch somebody unawares. Rubino can't necessarily afford to peek this angle, so Azza most of the time will be relatively safe from Rubino's position. 3 players moving into connector now, and Azza, perfect timing from him. Look at the kills raining in here for Renegades. Wipeouts on the A sites.
Yeah, and it's, again, one of those situations where, you know, it is a Mirage, so you have options as a CT, but you don't really want to allow Renegades to take a lot of these aim battles. So I feel like you want to try to get aggressive somehow, some way. Just try to take control of the pace of the round and get some kills earlier on. With the FAMAS, because in that way you can control your engagements a bit better. You can try to create spots where the fights are going to be in these mid ranges where you kind of know what fight you're going into, and they might be a bit surprised, and that kind of help to tip the balance a bit. But we could see there that Renegades were able to get in position, walk up to to open spaces, use the AKs where they just had all the advantages against all the FAMASs that we saw from Dignitas, and it was pretty easy for them, relatively speaking. I mean, even Rubino in the window position, he knew that a player was peeking in there. He turned around in good time And but he still lost the fight. If he wins that fight, then, you know, it changes a lot. But 11-7, Renegades did a very good job there in that round. They picked a very strong round for what they had. But now we get more M4s. More than one at least. 3. How about that?
How about that? JKS looks to deploy some grenades for his team. Nifty top mid on his zone. Molotov into connector to stop any would-be peeking CTs, but there are none just yet. Fox looking for an engagement. Definitely wishes he had an AWP, but he will settle for an M4 for the time being. Still a 4-round lead for Dignitas. Renegades will look to shorten that. I'm sure we'll see a pop flash for Nexa into the connector area. No, he's going to walk out. Flash from the CTs instead. Smoke deep in connector will be a problem for Renegades. They may have to fight for control of connector. And you can see Team Dignitas poised for a double peek. Although Jake is backing off and Tensky, he's in trouble now. He's stuck behind a wooden panel and the numbers game is there for the T's. Although it's running out, they have no idea what's going on. Jake with 2. 3 on 3 now. There's a rotation from the B players. Kremen forced back onto ramp. Do Renegades know he is there?
Jacob did such a good job there. I mean, he got 2 kills, but look at all the dinking going on. Nifty and Azza sub 10 HP. That is a problem for them against all these M4s. There's a good trade coming in from Rubino, but JKS holding it down in the Palace area. Now all players are known for Rubino. He doesn't have a kit at the moment, so he has to get the kills. He's got a Molotov to work with at the moment, so he might want to toss that down someplace to make his life easier, but he will get absolutely destroyed. And that is good work from Renegades, considering that they were left with 3 after breaking connector, and 2 of which had 10 HP. They still managed to win that round.
Renegades,
really nice from Renegades.
Yeah, they are causing problems for Dignitas around that connector area. Dignitas, you saw they tried to fight for it, but then the timing of Renegades was superior with Jacob moving away, leaving his teammate in isolation. He did well, Jacob, to get 2 kills in that situation, but it was not enough. Dignitas back into Eco Town, and the loss bonus is not quite spectacular just yet. So Renegades will start slow and try to pick these players off. Try to weaken the already weakened defenses of Dignitas. They've bought a P250 in this round, and that is literally it. An investment of $300.
Well, what do you say about that? Guess it is likely going to be a slow one here, as Renegades are looking to make this as safe as possible. Playing it smart, making sure everything is under control. Well, looks like everything is so far.
There's not much to say, is there? The CTs are in A. Renegades are walking through mid. That's it right now. Renegades are making the right choice. You've made the right choice, son. Like an insurance salesman, you guys have made the right choice.
So I like how you just described that, because I went with like the American election and started getting political.
I had no idea what you're talking about, to be honest. So I was like, I'm just going to leave this alone.
Well, I said the choice is really clear, unlike the choice in the American election, last American election, where there was, many people's opinion.
I suppose
the candidate was a clear choice.
Yeah,
right?
fit for office, perhaps.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you had no idea. He was like, what is he doing right now?
Yeah.
What is this guy saying?
I was like, I'm not going to touch this. I don't want to throw him under the bus, but I don't understand. I'm sure there are plenty of times where you have no idea what I'm saying.
Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah, quite reasonable.
Most of the time when you're going for that. Because I think like a lot of the time you don't necessarily know if it makes sense yet,
Look,
but you kind of like keep developing it and you wait to like see. Oh, actually, okay, now I made it work. Like you gotta keep just going.
My analogies are outstanding. They are second to none. They are works of art. They are poetry. You could hang them on a wall. Be typing them lyrics, man.
I do wonder, like,
and frame them.
Why having like screens which are like GIFs or whatever that you could why is that not on people's walls these days, like everywhere? That's like a kind of a futuristic sci-fi thing, right?
GIFs. That sounds awful.
I know it probably would be awful, but I feel like that's kind of what the future has.
Isn't that what a digital photo frame is for?
Yeah, just like loads of those everywhere.
Sounds horrible.
It does, doesn't it? But I'm surprised that I haven't seen them everywhere.
Even though it sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Well, as you know, you don't necessarily like the way things get, changed, do you? Necessarily, it's not like it's for a generation that's beyond you, maybe beyond your understanding.
For a generation of wankers, Dan.
Fair enough. Right, this has been a very interesting discussion in these eco rounds. Now we go back into the action. We've got 11 rounds for Dignitas and 9 for Renegades. And Renegades, they actually had a lot of, Dignitas had a lot of success going really fast, and I think that is stylistically something that suits Renegades as well. We haven't really seen too much of it just yet. That said, they are lobbying around the Palace area and looking to just jump in on top of the A bomb site.
A taste of Dignitas' own medicine, perhaps, but maybe it won't be so successful. Croman and Jacob with a nice crossfire. Tensky controlling connector for the time being. 2 Renegades players remain. Smoke's down, but the CTs could look over it. Rubino taken down. Do they identify, though, that it was Tensky who was actually killing in connector? Another person is there. Nifty now in a 1 versus 3, and Fox will shut him down. Shut it down, just like in the wire. 3-round lead for Dignitas, but Renegades, they've built some money. They can buy again.
Into the sky we go. And we're back. Out of the sky.
It's like a drone out of control.
Like the drone that's cut up my arm when you flew it into my arm.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Maybe that wasn't out of control when you just were like, I'm just going to throw it into this guy's arm.
Why not?
Screw this guy.
Life is about experiences.
Get this guy off my boats. Get this guy out of shorts. Yusilo with a very nice pick off there. Really fast round. This is what I was alluding to in the previous round about how speed can very well play into the style of Renegades. And they are doing a fantastic job. Nifty with a pick off there into connector. Tensky was trying to get an idea of what's going on, take control of the situation. But the control is gone. At least as far as Dignitas are concerned.
Renegades waiting for Dignitas to make a mistake. Dignitas have to gamble at this point. They are facing resets. That big grey button on the Super Nintendo may be pressed soon when the screen goes black with a grey line in the middle. When you rage quit. When you go around to somebody's house, you whoop them at their own game, and they turn off the snares because they're pissed. That's what might have just happened now. Dignitas are gambling. They are all going to the B bomb site, and this is something which has been a point of discussion recently. I think it was Happy from Envy who brought it up about Cloud9.
Yeah, this is really smart. I mean, it's like it just doesn't make sense to like, because a lot of teams just have like 1 guy at A here, maybe 2 on B or something, or vice versa. And it's like it doesn't really make sense because you're basically weak everywhere. And one great situation for your team is to actually save all your guns. So why not do both and be strong somewhere and just take a risk that if they go to the other place, you lose a round, but you can save guns. That said, though, this is kind of the problem with this potentially is that. If the other team sees that there's no pressure anywhere, they see this. They're like, okay, we understand that you're trying to save, and we pretty much know exactly what you're going to try to save because it's quite obvious, and we can just have all the time in the world to attack you. And what can you do? What on earth can you do here? And so this is one of the things. Like if you're going to go for this play, you have to take that situation into account. You perhaps have to expand your, you have to play a bit more aggressively for exits to kind of slow the T's down. Maybe it's one way to handle it. That was really nice from Renegades. There's a lot of teams that don't realize soon enough that the other team is saving with every player.
JKS with 25 kills for his team. That being quite a nice one. Infamous JKS. Once went a game of cash without dying a single time.
Let's go and
in our old leagues. Indeed he is. Pistols, a familiar story for both CT teams, I think it's fair to say. Beyond the pistol, Dignitas have really won 1 round in this half. 1 round. And that does not bode well. The loser of this faces elimination. They will be forced to walk the plank. They will be no longer welcome on this cruise ship, cruising towards the major. In Kraków, the land of pierogi, Polish cheesecake. Another thing's Polish because it is in Poland.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. And of course, earlier today we had Penta making it through, which is really cool.
Deservedly.
Yeah,
Deservedly.
Yeah. They're going to be very interesting to keep an eye on. Some exciting games from them in store for us, I'm sure, in the future.
I recommend Penta investigate Polish Cheesecake. It's good. I can. It has the bottle stamp of approval. It's a very rare stamp.
I feel like you should. Well, you need to show me what it is, because you talk about it like whenever anyone mentions anything relating to Poland, you immediately mention that the cheesecake every single time without fail.
You don't understand, man. It's so good. It's really good. Polish cheesecake is unreal. Tweet down about Polish cheesecake if you are familiar with it. So it's eco time again for Dignitas. They have 5 CZs. These can be dangerous. This is a winnable situation if Renegades make a mistake.
Yeah, they were pretty good in the previous rounds, and much like Dignitas was on these kinds of situations where they... This is cool, actually. Ysolow's got very fast positioning there into Connector. He's actually like, okay, this is for free. I should investigate further, and he'll do so. The rest of his teammates, oh, that's cool. He saw 4 players there, which is so much good information, because even if you want to attack, let's say you want to push in, if you know that there's 4 players there on the sites, then you're like, okay, I can prepare for this. I know what nades to use. It's when you don't have the information is when things are the most scary. So this is going to be a quick one, and there you go, 12-12. The score is tied up. And where this one goes, it's become now very unclear between these two teams, as they do seem kind of even at the moment.
Well, I would disagree with you, because of the last 7 rounds, only one of them has been won by Dignitas. So I think Dignitas are in trouble.
Well, I mean, that was the same situation in the first half, right? We had a few rounds from Renegades, and they couldn't win any for like a series of 9 rounds.
Yeah, it was all T rounds being won, and guess who's on the T side? Renegades. So I think it's Renegades' match to lose at this point if the momentum continues in this fashion. Oh my god, what is that? He's doing some Michael Flatley pirouettes and shooting people in the face in mid. That is absolutely disgusting.
How did he got 2 kills out of that? And he shouldn't have been able to even get that first one. I guess whichever the first player must have been very blinded or something similar to that effect. Oh no, it gets worse for Dignitas, losing Fox as well. Down to Rubino and Croman, and they are isolated from one another. Oh dear, it's a very strong round here from Renegades. Recovery seems very unlikely here for Dignitas in this round, and saving is really all they can likely do in this position.
I can only assume that they were trying to save the AWP. I can't see anything else that makes sense to go through that crawl space.
Yeah.
There is... for those of you who are not rap connoisseurs, Ghostface Killer has some lyrics. Run, cops got guns. Well, Renegades got guns as well. And it's Dignitas on the run now because Renegades have taken the lead. And again, it's nothing but T rounds that we're seeing in this match. Dignitas have taken a timeout. From the last 8 rounds, 7 have been won by the T side. The T side is Renegades. Dignitas have a tech issue, which they'll look to solve in the meantime. They cannot hear their coach right now, so they will fix that, I'm sure, PGL. But in the meantime, I think it's been solved already. Or maybe not. Renegades in the lead. This is now all Renegades. And if you're a Dignitas fan, I hope you're watching from the toilet, because this is very worrisome, very nervous times, Dan.
Well, it's definitely going to be interesting to see what their interpretation is as to the adjustments they need to make to remedy the situation, because there has been some rounds where they've taken some aggressions here or there, but yeah, Renegades have just been working really, really well on their entries, in the majority of cases, taking over middle and so on. Again, much like Dignitas were doing on their T side. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not Dignitas just like decide to keep going aggressive, or maybe they just want to play more passively, play more conservatively. Maybe that's what they think is better, considering that Renegades have been so strong at taking mid. But that's the thing too, like you never really want to allow a T side to just take mid or like for complete free. Like there should always be an exchange. The exchange should either be, okay, it costs them utility and maybe a player or something, or if you decide to give it to them, you yourselves should take map control elsewhere to make up for that, so you get more information. And also because you're less likely to run into a bunch of players, maybe like 1 or something like that. So, and that risk is going to be worth it in those situations. So it's a lot to be thinking about for Dignitas. And you can see there Ysolow just jumping through the smoke. You can see he turns around. He wasn't blinded actually because he actually turned and his teammates flashed him in. So yeah, that was a really good play there from Renegades.
I wonder if he gets that kill if Jacob has an M4A4.
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean,
because of the faster fire rates.
Yeah, I switched back to the M4A4 now as well. I think it's the way forward, man, at the moment. I think a lot of people have been switching to it recently.
They have.
Even Happy, was it? It was a Happy, right?
Happy, Rain.
Yeah, Happy and Rain, yeah.
A lot of CT sides, we've seen only 1 of 5 people with a silenced M4.
It's definitely...
Across varying maps.
So that's common for sure.
So Dignitas are in trouble. They are in a lot of trouble. Just like when your mum walks in your bedroom and you're on a dodgy website, you're in trouble. Dignitas are in trouble. Maybe not a copy and paste situation, but by no means is the situation fabulous for them. 3 CZs. 2 players in mid for the CT side. Tensky playing in a smoke, or under the smoke rather. I do like that angle when the T's move into mid. He's got Fox running distraction as well, but to what end? The end of a gun fired by Renegades.
Yep, just 2 left on this A sites. Renegades will finish things off on B as they march their way up short. And Jacob has actually bought Kevlar in this round, so there is definitely an argument for him to save. But Croman, he's got a P250 and no Kevlar, so there's definitely an argument for him to try to find a gun, try to get a kill, try to do something here. And Jacob himself will also be making his way forwards to play for a frag somewhere in the middle location. So they actually have good positions here to maybe get a cheeky kill. But a gun pickup, ooh, that would be fantastic. There's 1 kill, can't get that gun. And there's a trade. Ooh, and Nifty was really low.
I like the synchronized strafing in mid. That was really awesome.
Yeah.
Synchronized
Teamwork.
strafing. Their little legs scurrying along. Renegades are 2 rounds away from eliminating Dignitas. Dignitas, who have forgotten what success tastes like in this match. Again, after the first 2 rounds, they've had 1 CT round. That's it.
It's so insane as well. Like, being eliminated would be just so horribly heartbreaking for whichever team it is going to be. Oh, that's a really good, sick shot there from Fox. Manages to get you still. That's a really important frag because now that means that there's only 4 players all from the same place to attack this B bomb site. Do they commit? They don't have to commit here. They are going to go for it, and there's 3 CTs here. I think this is going to work out pretty poorly for Renegades. They're in a lot of trouble. The CTs have all day to set up here. They've lost another player before they've even tried to run in. They're just getting absolutely destroyed right now.
Yeah, just like Shredder, getting mangled by the trash compactor, getting taken out in bags, body bags by the Dignitas side. Their backs are to the wall, and they've survived with 4 players have the CT side. Finally, with another round on the board. And it's also important that they survived in the numbers. So if they were to lose this round, they've got some money to weather the storm, but they have no intention of doing that. There's cash on the Renegade side as well. They are straight back on the buy. Worth noting that Nifty's only got 10 kills in this game so far. JKS has been doing the heavy carry with 28 frags for his side. But Nifty's having a better time on the second half than the first, with 6 of his 10 kills.
And if Dignitas, Dignitas don't have a lot of money, if I could speak English for just a moment, to actually work with should they lose a round. So it's obviously, Renegades will be on 15, but that is something also to be concerned about for the Dignitas side. Renegades have more than enough to afford buys for the rest of the match. In goes Renegades with a player into top middle, and they have 2 players coming in from underpass as well. So they'll have this middle take underway. It seems successful, but the question then becomes, are they able to take connector? Because they have a player, JKS, by T-spawn at the moment, which would suggest that there is a possibility they're thinking about going for the A play, and they need someone on slope for that. They need to have connector for that. And the bonus as well is to have a player in the window, which they have now got as well.
This is definitely an A play from the side, but the time is running out, and Dignitas seem to have a read as to what's going on. Rubino has rotated from B into CPL, and he's going to pick off Nifty in the short position, but that might make them think it's B. Azza trying to fight for that crawl space, the bomb trying to make its way through. JKS now left alone on the ramp position. He's got 3 players to find in 20 seconds, and the bomb is nowhere near him. It might be a question of damage for JKS at this point, but he's got $10,000 in the bank. They've got no issue buying. He'll probably need to just hold on to his weapon at this point, but he won't do that. He didn't need to die after time, considering what the score is and how much money he had. He could have just ran away and held on to what he had. Maybe felt like CT damage was a bigger priority. Either way, Renegades have taken a timeout. They have 1 timeout remaining in this match. 14 apiece. This is going down to the wire.
Yeah, it really is. And Dignitas will be in a spot, I think, on this. If, should they lose? Yeah, should they lose this round, they'll still have just enough money to do something in that last round to try to get the overtime situation going for them. But obviously, they're going to be wanting to crush Renegades, and Renegades are going to be in trouble, too much trouble with the money, especially if they get a bomb down in this round. So interesting times ahead here. Again, elimination match here for the PGL Major in Kraków. We're not far away to that momentous occasion. It's what every team cares the most about, the majors, the most important tournaments in Counter-Strike. And here today, a lot of teams will have their hopes dashed in these qualifiers.
Fox does not want to overextend. He doesn't want to get too aggressive, and smartly, he is immediately rotating to an entirely different position. He wants to catch these players off guard. They'll be looking for him in short. Now, you know where Nifty is. Jacob and Tensky looking to fight for Connector as this round progresses. A slow approach from Renegades top mid. They don't want to make mistakes. JKS, he's been lurking towards ramp as he was in the previous round. And there go the Connector smokes as Renegades start to move in. But could this be a B split? They could just quietly walk up to the B position. They could suggest a round similar to previous where they went for a split towards A. But indeed, that obviously the smoke and connector obscures the CT vision. They're going to have a 5-on-1 on the B bomb site.
That's a big deal, but it's going to be Fox. Gets the first pick off. That's Nifty dead. Dropped. Oh, wow. Actually connected that. The leg of Ustillo. Shot by Fox as well. Holding onto his position. Finally taken down. But has he bought enough time? Rubino from the shot with a triple. Looks like he has bought enough time. Because now it's just down to Azza. And Tensy's going to have a piece as well. That's 15 rounds now for Dignitas. Match points.
What a hero play from Rubino in the nick of time, especially because we saw a second T go past Fox's scope, go past the window. Rubino spotted him, and that's a crucial frag to get. That's the player I'm talking about, carrying the bomb, no less. Great headshot on a second player. Wow. Rubino with the 3K. What a beast. See them feeling it, supercharged. They have great opportunity. The last timeout from Renegades has been called, and there are 15 seconds left on that. The AKs are out for the team. JKS could drop an AWP, but I mean, Nifty's got 10 kills. So does he even want to do that? Because if he does that, I don't know if there's an AK for him to pick up. So I think he's top fragger for the team as well. So maybe he just continues with an AK, and indeed he will do exactly that. I think that's a smart choice at this point.
Nifty taking one for the team. Someone's got to do it. We've got Dignitas, I think, in a very happy place at the moment. It's like Renegades are going to just have all their chances now gambled on this A bomb site. There are 2 players to respond, and here comes Renegades.
There are basically 4 CTs already on the A bomb site. They just left Fox on short, and they are taking care of business on A so far. But there's still a... Oh, never mind. It's Azza alone. And it's a very brief round after so many T rounds from Renegades. Dignitas, when it counts, when they're back to the wall, they stay alive. They eliminate Renegades from this tournament, and they live on to fight one more match to see if they can make the major.
Great display there of Counter-Strike from Dignitas and Renegades as well. I mean, it's that T side that really, of course, was able to make the differences, I think, for these teams. It was interesting to see how they responded at Dignitas. Again, they had a really good streak, just 9 rounds in a row after initially conceding 4 right at the start after losing that pistol. And you almost wonder, had they been able to win the pistol T side, because that T side looks so good, so consistent and diverse at the same time. That would they be able to do a much better job there even than just have 9 rounds? So it's impressive to see the form that Dignitas have been in. If we just think about where they came from when the lineup started, we had Makaleli and Pitta there. They got kicked almost like immediately.
But before they played any matches.
Exactly.